we're here today with Kevin Neal, who is CEO of P3ID, which you can see in his background there. For purposes of today, we're talking with Kevin about TWAIN and TWAIN Direct and what TWAIN can do to advance the capture industry and make capture easier for end users as well as vendors. Let me look at my notes here. Kevin is a marketing chair as well as a board member for TWAIN. And by way of introduction, I'm Bryant Duhon. I'm editor of the Document Imaging Report, published by InfoSource. What's next? What's the next thing after TWAIN Direct?
So we are a technology group at the end of the day. That's what we are. So we develop open source technology standards, and we advocate for standards. So right now, TWAIN Direct is a scanner protocol. So that's what the API is. So that's number one. So you could drive the scanning devices. And number two, we also have a file format, a PDF-R raster. So you can actually create a PDF file from the device itself. So those are two things. You could get scanner connectivity and a file format. The next thing that we're probably won't put in the specification, but will be an amendment is enterprise authentication. So if you have a cloud application, you can't log into the cloud without some kind of identity. And so the ability to integrate with Active Directory or LDAP services or single sign-on through a protocol called SAML, S-A-M-L 2.0. So it's an industry standard. So since we're an industry standards committee, we're going to advocate for SAML 2.0 support, and we'll provide some details on how to integrate SAML 2.0 into your TWAIN Direct application. So that was a major step in that, based on all the feedback that we've got from the focus groups and the membership, is that this isn't for consumer usage. This is going to be for small businesses or enterprise businesses mostly, because the scanning devices themselves are still $500,000 for even the low end ones. So people aren't this isn't like a consumer application. So it needs enterprise authentication. So that's one thing we've been talking about. We've also been talking about things like basically hosting TWAIN Cloud API so that people, instead of getting the source code and downloading it and setting up themselves, they might be able to have a hosted environment where they just come in and they can start developing an application on day one, and this takes away all the friction of getting started. So that's a significant development we might do. These are still kind of future things. And then also improving the way that we deliver the code on GitHub. So there's a bunch of source code on GitHub, but you still have to do a lot of work to compile it. So you want to have more built out sample applications that are fully functional that you could just get and then modify, put your logo, change your colors, add your uniqueness to it. So
the traditional value of using the cloud, it's funny to listen to a hardcore, obviously you've been a hardware guy, you've run a business, listen to a scanner manufacturer talk about using the cloud like an app to do driver delivery. It's kind of 20 years ago, I think we'd both been like, nah.
Yeah, it's kind of the way it should be. I mean, a software application developer, they want to create their application and the workflow logic. That's the real important thing. Getting an image into the system is super important, but it's like a trivial thing that they should not have to worry about. They shouldn't have to become a scanner expert and a driver expert. So if you're a workflow provider, if you're an RPA company, if you're a big cloud company, if you're developing a business application, right? You just want this TWAIN Direct plugin to be able to get images into my system efficiently, securely, and then I could do something with it, and that's what we learned from the focus groups was that, hey, just give me something that works. I could plug in. I want to do it. I want to have to rebuild the wheel again. It's kind of senseless.
It's like, give me 3/4 of the wheel and I'll build the other quarter. That's a horrible analogy.